I may have gone 80 on the highway to get here. Looks like they're started.
Yep, and we're starting with probably the common first part, Concrete Man. So, AJA, would you like to tell us why Concrete Man is usually the first on the list of this particular gaming route?
Yeah, absolutely. So this game is rooted a little untraditionally from most Mega Man games. The goal is not necessarily to go in the boss weakness order. It's actually to complete 5 stages as quick as possible, because completing 5 stages unlocks Rush Jet. Rush Jet is extremely useful for the last 3 stages, Plug Man, Tornado Man, and Splash Woman. So we are starting with Concrete first because A, Rush Jet wouldn't be heavily utilized in this stage. B, the Buster fight isn't that bad, and the weapon that you would get from Concrete Man is extremely useful for movement. You can do these mini zips through enemies, and it's extremely useful for melting down some of the mini bosses that you're going to see in a little bit.
And as we get our rush started, we got Darko pretty much holding on to an early lead as he's about to go through the final stretches, about to fight Concrete Man in a few minutes. Charlieboy not too far behind, probably a few seconds behind. Well,
you got the clock is about 4 seconds apart, so
yeah,
they're right on.
Well, on the stream, we got Darko going in first, but we probably have Charlieboy literally on his heels right now. So it's gonna, as you can see, Concrete Man is actually a pretty interesting fight, especially since for a big guy, he actually is pretty mobile, but it seems like he's being a little cooperative on Darko's side, while Charlieboy is struggling just a little bit, but he's still keeping pace, making sure that Concrete Man is getting plugged in very smoothly, very evenly, and Darko taking him out. And Charlieboy just lost it just a little bit and takes a death just one hit away.
So Charlieboy's pattern there was actually the more preferable pattern. It's more difficult, but it's more preferable. Where Darko's was actually unlucky. Darko got a lot of jumps. You don't want Concrete Man to jump because you can't jump as high as he can, meaning you can't land shots on him. If he stays on the ground like he is for Charlieboy here with these charge shots, you can constantly be hitting Concrete Man. So you do hope for him to stay on the ground, though you do deal with a lot of, trying to avoid his charge, trying to avoid the concrete blocks. One thing to note about that fight is that you see that he shoots 3 blocks. If you stand close enough to him, it looks like he's only shooting 1. He's still shooting 3, but you're standing so close that all 3 blocks are stacked, so it only looks like 1. It makes it a little bit easier to avoid.
Meanwhile, as Charlieboy takes care of Concrete Man, we notice that Darko is going to Magma Man, which is not the weakness route, but right now is one of the best stages for concrete usage. As you can see, Darko just literally shredded the Chanky Dragon with 5 very quick concrete shots. Also, if you probably Darko is going to be doing because one of the notable utilities of the concrete shot is the fact that depending on how you utilize it, you can actually do some mini zips, and these mini zips don't save too much time, but they build and add up, so time slowly gets saved by small little increments. Not to mention, as you can see, the concrete shot also freezes the magma jets, which will make the stage a whole lot shorter as Darko is about to go into the Magma Man fight.
Yep, so the concrete shot, you can actually utilize it to do, there's a zip there that is extremely dangerous. You saw Darko kind of not go for that one there. It's pixel perfect, so if you're 1 pixel too far, you do end up dying. So understandable why you wouldn't necessarily go for that. That Chain Key Dragon that he killed earlier on, I know he's on the Magma fight now, that's 15 Buster shots to kill. And you will see, I believe, Darko use the Buster in Wily 1 to kill him. And that is an impressive feat to see. His mashing ability is insane. Once again, you're using Buster to kill Magma Man. He makes quick work of him. That fight also not so bad. He can either... So you just saw Charlieboy go for the zip. Like I said, that was pixel perfect. What happened there was he was too short. So if you're 1 pixel too short, you don't zip. If you're 1 pixel too far, you die.
So as we go to Darko's third Robot Master, you actually can have a choice. You can actually go to Hornet Man or Galaxy Man, since you got the weaknesses for both. So I'm pretty sure at this point is mostly preference on which one you actually would choose. But for in this case, Darko is going to go to Galaxy Man, and Galaxy Man is a pretty interesting stage. You're going to see a lot of the enemies are going to be actually pretty useful in this stage. Well, after a few screens, but as you can see, using Rush Jet, not Rush Jet, but Rush Coil to navigate and make some of the obstacles shorter. And this is the exact thing I was talking about. These helicopter enemies, they actually help you make these stretches of screens much faster. As obviously, since you can't slide in this game, walking is going to be a bit of a time sink.
Absolutely. However, one thing that you'll see some runners do, although I think I'm the only person that I've seen do it so far, is that they would go to Hornet first, or Hornet third instead of Galaxy. There is a tricky jump where you're trying to get caught by the copter. They are designed to throw you into spikes. There is one dangerous one at the end where that can happen, and it's an instant death. However, the reason you would go Hornet third is Hornet Chaser actually can kill those little copters. So it's a little bit of a safety by going Hornet third. But again, for RTA routes, Galaxy Man is a heavy RNG stage, as you're about to see. The difference between the best pattern that he can give you and the worst pattern is about 6.5, 7 seconds. So you really want to, a lot of the runners in RTA, they try to, they skip, they go Galaxy just to, get the reset earlier on. Darko smartly decides to not go for that dangerous copter strat there at the end. Probably wise.
And unfortunately, Darko does not get the good pattern for Galaxy. For the Galaxy fight, we would like to see him do something like that we like to call 2 swoops. In that Galaxy would like to do 2 swooping patterns on the ground, where you can actually just plug him with the proper number of concrete shots in order to take him out quickly. So unfortunately, Darko is going to lose a little bit of time, but not too much time, as Darko still takes out Galaxy Man very, very quickly.
We'll see here if Charlieboy went for the zip. He may go for this copter strat too. I'm interested to see if he does. Nope. So if off that ladder, if you jump left, you can get pulled up to that copter. But you have to make those simultaneous jumps to make it up there, to that top platform area. On Darko's screen, you're about to see the next mini boss. Well, not quite yet. He has to get there. But it's another RNG boss, or mini boss rather. It's the flower. It can spawn in a few different locations. We are hoping for it to spawn at the top so that he doesn't have to move. The bottom left is also a decent pattern. What he just got is actually the second worst pattern. So unfortunate luck so far this run for him.
Well, at least it spawned on the left side, so it can at least go straight down. If it was on the absolute far right, that is the absolute worst placement that the flower can spawn. But fortunately, not too much time was lost in comparison. Darko is tugging along Hornet Man at a pretty solid pace overall. Still got a few screens to go. Is he going to use the concrete? Yes, he does. He's going to use the concrete to freeze that flower and let it stick on the wall so it can climb up that little wall a little faster. So now we got the Magma Bazooka. So the thing about the Magma Bazooka, at least in most boss fights, and specifically for the Hornet Man fight, is that the Magma Bazooka can actually stack damage. So if he gets a good shot, as you can see, a large amount of damage has been added for Hornet Man because he tried to hit all 3 Magma Bazooka shots, preferably the charge shots, and makes the fight go much faster.
Yeah, he really melts, and you'll see Magma utilized a lot for the next mini boss actually. Oh wow, Charlieboy getting the best possible flower, so he's gonna save a little bit of time there. Yeah, Magma is a really great weapon for just across the board. It's sort of you'll see it be used typically in Jewel Man stage, not just for the cheese ball, but the fact that you can shoot it sort of diagonal up helps you as well.
Now, Jewel Man stage is a pretty interesting stage. I wonder how Darko's gonna run with it. Right now, he's not using to use any weapons. I've seen quite a bit of few strats available for him, especially with the concrete shot. But it looks like he's gonna stick with Buster to try to save on the menu. And now he's gonna use Hornet Chaser up until the mid boss, so he's able to kill not only all the enemies very quickly, since the Hornet Chaser is able to home in directly on each and every enemy, but he's also coming across this boulder mini boss, which we officially like to call the cheese ball. And right now, not a bad position. Could be a little closer to the door.
About average.
Yeah, but that's the reason why we got the Hornet Chaser available at that point, so we can let the cheese ball fall down immediately, as opposed to having him drop down boulders and then drop down, which wastes quite a bit of time.
Yeah, you do normally have to wait a few seconds as it drops multiple boulders, but that, as you mentioned, that the Hornet Chaser pulls them right out. As you mentioned with Jewel, it's interesting because a lot of the strats remain the same in this game for top level runners. Jewel is one of those exceptions that you have some runners, some top high-end runners that just go through that first screen with Buster, and then you have some that use concrete. Again, the trade-off being you have an extra menu, but you gain a little bit of that time back by being able to do multiple mini zips that we talked about earlier to kind of make up for that menu. So, interesting that you have two strats like that are pretty equal in time. Darko made quick work of Jewel Man there. You can kill Jewel Man with just 2 black hole bombs. Not that difficult of a fight. Not much to say about it.
Yeah, probably the only notable thing is that Jewel Man, does he jump when you jump, or does he jump when you attack?
He jumps when you jump.
That's what I thought.
When I dip, you dip, we dip.
Oh, sweet mercy. But yeah, now we got potentially another set of divergence. No, wait. I was about to say another potential set of divergence, but not quite yet. Well,
you could. No. Ooh, Death by Charlieboy. That section there is tough. You have a lot going on in that screen. That's a lot of people can fall in that pit. Fortunately, he's not too far from the checkpoint. He's only 2 screens away, so hopefully he makes it through this time. But you're right. This is a possible route divergence. We'll have to see what Charlieboy does. So now that we have Rush, that's what the reward for being Jewel. That's the 5th Robot Master. Really the only criteria is that you do Plug Man before Tornado Man. So you can do Splash Woman next, or you can do Plug Man next. It really does not matter.
So as you can see what Darko did, based on our little familiar section, if you familiar with Mega Man 5, we got Mega Man 9's version of the bubble skip. Utilizing Rush Jet that we just got, he's able to utilize it in such a way that he can actually go through these bubble sections a little quicker by summoning him in specific moments and using the smaller bubbles to transfer vertically to get to the next screens faster.
That's right. And you see him using Rush Jet here as sort of a platform to not have to wait for the other moving platforms. I do want to point out these Rush Jet jumps are not trivial. They're pretty hard to time it so that you are landing on Rush at the highest possible position. So how Rush works is he's dropping from the bottom of the screen and you're jumping up, and he'll stop moving when he meets Mega Man's vertical position. So you want to time it so that you are still on your way up as you meet Rush vertically, so that you can land on him and that you're not, because again, if you do it at the height of your jump, well, then Rush is too high and you're not going to land on him. So if you do it too late, he's going to be at the ground and there'll be no difference from just spawning him on the ground.
So right now we got Darko coming to Plugman, Charlieboy already going to Plugman stage, and one of the most important things to know about Plugman stage is that this stage is based on cycles, especially for the Yoku blocks. You want to be in a position where you can actually navigate with the Rush Jet and go through the Yoku block sections cleanly without stopping. Otherwise, if you're off cycle, these Yoku blocks can wind up being in a position where they can be in the way and you might slow yourself down a little bit. It looks like Charlieboy might have been a victim of that, having not doing the stage as cleanly as you probably would expect.
Free E-Tank here. This is a good safety. I mean, it's probably the easiest one to get. As you mentioned, yeah, they're all on a global timer. It's called Perfect Plug. You basically need to play this stage absolutely perfectly. That way you ensure the Yoku blocks are right where you need. One mistake can be pretty costly, as you have to wait for the next cycle. Yeah, see, he was smart there and waiting for the next cycle. He almost went for it there.
As you can see right now, Darko is just going through the stage very, very smoothly as he's making all the cycles, basically going through the area, not stopping, even for the Rush Jet, as he's able to navigate the area down. Excuse me right quick. I think I'm being called right quick, so give me a quick moment.
No worries. So a few ticks left of Rush Jet. He's going to use it there to skip the sparks. Again, another kind of trivial fight here with Plugman. Really the only difficult part is don't shoot a jewel satellite into his iframes. Because you have exact ammo for the fight. As long as you're patient, you don't spam the shots, you should make quick work of Plug. So Darko is a stage ahead here, essentially, as he has already finished Splash Woman, so he can head right to Tornado Man, the last Robot Master. Meanwhile, Charlieboy still has 2 Robot Masters left.
So for Tornado Man, you're gonna see heavy usage of the Rush Jet. Tornado Man is home to probably one of the most annoying platforming gimmicks. These magnets that rotate your character sprite around a wire. Yeah, they're annoying. They're hard to platform with, and they're really slow moving. So of course, Darko is gonna wind up using Rush Jet and pretty much ignore every single bit of these sections. And as you can see, you don't want to deal with the spikes either. So it's gonna be pretty safe to say you're gonna be seeing a lot of this in the stage.
Yeah, this is a big reason that you're waiting, and it's preferable to do the because Tornado is actually Magma Man's weakness, but it's a lot more beneficial to have Rush Jet for this stage rather than just doing Tornado Man earlier without it and doing those batteries just to have Magma Man's weakness. It's not worth it.
So the overall gimmick of Tornado Man stage is that you're dealing with a lot of weather climate. This is kind of like a weather station of sorts. And what Darko's about to deal with next in this coming screen, yeah, we're dealing with rain physics. Well, in this case, wind physics. The rain just shows where the direction that the wind is going. And of course, with the wind pushing towards Mega Man, you're moving very slowly. So yet again, we're going to use Rush Jet to try to ignore the wind physics. But for the next screen that Darko is about to go through, the wind physics actually going to be beneficial as it moves in the direction that Mega Man is walking. So Darko is using the wind to make these very long yet quick moving jumps as he goes straight into the Tornado Man boss door. So very well done by Darko.
Yep, so it's important to note it only affects you when you're in the air. So it doesn't slow down your movement if you're walking or speed it up if you're walking. So on one hand, on that first section, you want to jump as little as possible. Whereas on that last screen, you want to stay in the air as much as possible because it's pushing you faster. Unfortunately, not the Tornado Bro pattern there. There is a pattern you'd prefer for him to stay on the ground and take his shots, but you know he's kind of a jerk. Not the worst pattern, but I mean,
Yeah, at least it was in a position where he could still actually be hit while it was in the air. Tornado Man literally fly in worse positions.
Oh yeah, I've been there, unfortunately. So next we're on to the Wily stages. For those of you not familiar with Mega Man games, I don't know who wouldn't be familiar at this point, but the ammunition, the weapon ammunition, does not reset after every stage. It continues through all of Wily Castle, so weapon management is an important part of this. However, there will be an M tank that we get in Wily 3, so we will be able to refill it there, or in Wily 4, depending on if the runner chooses to save it.
So Darko's going through the first parts of Wily 1. Right now he's using Buster strats, but you can also use Dual Satellite here, but it will cost the menu. So Darko is just going through with Buster 2, not have to worry about the menu, but this is probably one of the more notable sections because these propeller lifting platforms, you will normally need the tornado blow in order to raise the platforms up so you can traverse these areas somewhat safely. But of course, you got Rush Jet, and you're going to be using Rush Jet as your main platforming source up to this point.
Yep. So he is going to keep on Rush Jet. A lot of people will switch to Coil here and then Concrete. We're going to see some insane mashing. Look at that. That is 15 shots, and he makes quick work of the Chain Key Dragon. What that does is it's a slightly slower Dragon Kill, but overall it's faster because you're saving 2 menus. Because normally you have to switch to Concrete, then you have to switch back to Jet for this section here. The other benefit to that is he's going to be saving time in Wily 2. As he will now have more concrete shots to work with. So again, he'll be saving some menus in Wily 2 as he can use the concrete shots as platforms in Wily 2 to traverse through the first half of the stage.
That
Mash is insane.
So, the Spike Pushers.
It looks like Charlieboy got Tornado Bro, however, he did end up going up. He missed a shot, but he got Tornado Bro.
So, AJ, about these Spike Pushers, how would you rate them on the scale of worst Mega Man boss or the worst Mega Man boss?
Absolute trash. The worst. I mean, can you even count these things as a... they disgust me. I don't even want to talk about them. They're horrible. So, I mean, alright. So, it's you can't mash too fast, you can't mash too slow. It's all about mashing at a reasonable pace. Sometimes they'll push back, sometimes they won't. If you could be standing there, hopefully you're standing far enough back, but if they push one into you unexpectedly, you die instantly. Because they act like any other spikes. They're just terrible. They hurt your hand if you practice the fight, so it's not even something you could practice. Otherwise, you're just constantly mashing. Terrible.
So meanwhile, we got Darko going into Wily 2. Once again, you can see a lot of Rush Jet used in a little bit of a mistake right there, but Darko's able to reset and recover properly. But as you said, Wily 2 is probably going to have a lot of concrete usage, because concrete is going to be used to skip a lot of enemies. Of course, it's a strong weapon. It's going to take care of a few enemies. Ooh, you're going to have to reset the room. Messed up the Rush Jet fly, but able to reset the room and recover with the concrete.
See, again, it was beneficial for him to have that extra concrete from not killing the dragon. He can traverse the next section. This next room is pretty cool. He doesn't go for the strat there, but it's a neat little. Again with that flower, he's not having the best RNG, I would say. It's unfortunate, but he's doing okay. He's about, it looks like he's about a full screen ahead, a full stage ahead at this point. We have the underwater section here of Wily 2. We're about to approach some really difficult jumps here. They're going to be about 4, I believe you have 4 frames to get past them. They may not look like anything here, but this jump right here, you see him scoot towards the edge. This jump right here is also semi-difficult. This is a casual killer for sure. This room is disgusting.
Yeah, keeping in mind about even though we passed it, those are some of the worst jumps in Mega Man because those tower jumps are very, very small. Those two tower high jumps are some of the worst you can have. There are literally spikes everywhere. One false jump and you're pretty much dead in the water, literally. But Darko made those look somewhat easy. Those are just not fun jumps to try and do.
No, his mash just so good. A lot of runners, again, they damage boost or they coil over those big mamas because they take 12 shots to kill. And not a problem for Darko. He mashes right through them. Now we're on to the Mega Mech Shark, and this is weak to Trident in all 3 phases. There are 3 phases to this boss. There are alternative strats. You can use Tornado in the second phase if you want to avoid some taking some intentional damage, but obviously saves the menu there. It's a little faster just to use Trident throughout.
Not to completely ignore Charlieboy, he's actually making good work of the spike pushers as there we go, finishing all the spike pushers, and he'll be on his way to Wally 2 while Darko completely annihilating the Mega Mech Shark and going to Wally 3, which could be a bit of a sleeper stage to quite a bit of people.
Yeah, so I mean, Wily 3, you have essentially what's considered the Mega Man 9 auto scroller. There's an anti-gravity section that you just kind of have to sit through as you go up. However, I feel like the difficulty curve on this stage spikes quite a bit. The first half, not so bad. There is kind of one tight jump. And then the second half, you have that platforming section with the turrets and the Sniper Joes. And, you make one mistake and you end up falling into a pit. And then you have a very interesting boss at the end. An easy boss, though. Very easy.
So you can argue that it's a sleeper in 2 ways. You can sleep through the auto-scroller, but you still be sleeping on the stage because of how crazy some of the platforming is in the stage. In the non-scrolling sections, that is.
Yep, he's about to approach the Sniper Joe room here. This room is a real pain to do quickly, but Darko made it look easy. Again, his mash is just so strong that he can get those shots in and kill the Sniper Joes. And but a lot of people can get stuck in, taking damage from those Joes multiple times, getting knocked down the ladders, up the ladders, off the ladders. It's rough.
So Darko is coming up on the screen, which is probably going to be one of the more important things. You can see if you go to the far left of the screen, there's actually a helicopter enemy that can actually push you towards the right, and you can get the M tank much easier in that way. You can probably still do it without using it, but Darko takes a fall.
Those that screen, it's brutal. The turrets, there's more Sniper Joes as you get later into the room. It's a brutal death, and you have to go through that auto scroller all over again. So not only is it an extremely difficult platformer, but the death costs probably about 50 seconds. It's not a good one.
Like I said, 2 means of this being a sleeper level, you sleep through here, but you still can't sleep the rest of the stage.
That's right. So there are 2 different strats to use during this section. Trident, or you can use Tornado Blow. Some people would prefer use Tornado Blow on the spike pushers. He's short 1 Tornado Blow because of the death. So we'll see what he does here. He's probably going to buster the first few and then switch. Yep, that's exactly what he does. So again, just traversing this. The thing you got to remember too is when you shoot the tornado, it increases your jump. So you also have to be careful not to accidentally jump into those spikes right above your head. So, a lot of people say, "Oh, tornado, that's the easier route." You don't. It's not like you have to mash the Trident shots, and you got to be careful too with that tornado because you could just easily jump with one of the tornado shots right into it. So we're on the Twin Devil now, Easy Devil. You'll see the use of the Black Hole Bomb here. He's going to pause cancel to hopefully kill him in one cycle. And easy every time.
Literally Easy Devil. Very well executed by Darko. So, Wally 4, basically, literally the end game, we got our boss rush, we're going to have our Wally fights after, but of course before that, we're going to be dealing with a little bit of extra platforming. We're going to be dealing with these laser barriers. Of course, it looks like Darko is going to use his M tank right now, but these laser barriers, normally you would need concrete shot to block these. But it looks like, yep, he's gonna be damage boosting he's gonna be damage boosting some of them while conserving some of the concrete shot energy, because you're gonna be using a lot of concrete for the remainder of the game. So Darko is basically picking his spots to use concrete where it's the most beneficial.
That's right. It is also important for him to pick up this concrete refill here. He used the concrete there as a block. Otherwise, it's another one of those tight Mega Man 9 jumps. So once again, we're hoping for the 2 swoops, and once again, he gets the worst pattern, which seems like that's the theme here for Darko's run: is get the worst possible pattern in every aspect of possible RNG.
Charlieboy taking out the Mega Mech Shark as he's on his way to Wally 3 and all that it contains. Meanwhile, Darko is going to his next Robot Master, taking out Plugman using all the Jewish Child Light. Remember that it takes exact ammo to kill Plugman, and now he's on his next fight, which is Tornado Man.
Let's see if he gets any luck this time. I'm gonna go with no, considering he's gonna have the perfect casino, though. That's what's gonna happen. All this is just gonna pay off, and he's gonna get a double low pattern from Wily.
We can only hope the casino is not a friendly casino.
Nope.
So, about Magma Man, we know that Tornado is the weakness, but Tornado is a little bit odd in this fight. As you can see, normally you will use all your energy for the Tornado blow, but it won't kill him completely. You will normally have a few picks of energy left, and you're going to be using Magma to get couple of hits in to defeat Magma Man, but it's pretty beneficial to have it that way anyway, because as you can see, you are going to be using the Magma Bazooka anyway to take out Hornet Man, which Darko just did.
Yeah, all the more reason that you don't even bother, having, rooting the game the way it is, and having Tornado for the Magma fight. You don't have enough ammo to finish him anyway, so again, killing him with a Buster, you're doing him as the second Robot Master. It's just the more beneficial way. Back to the bees.
Ignoring the logic of bees flying in water, he takes out Splash Woman very quickly, and now we just got Concrete Man left with the weakness this time.
Should be much quicker of a fight, and it certainly is. So now he's on to... Yeah, go ahead.
Now, I was just gonna let you introduce how this multi-tier Wily fight is gonna work.
So the first phase is basically you have to get these eggs to crash against Wily's mouth, or the Wily machine's mouth. Laser Trident is useful here because you can get these double hits because of the length of it. Here's our first point of RNG in this fight. He can go up or down. Preferably the most time-consuming or the best way is if he goes down twice in a row. He's having some unfortunate luck here. Plus, he ran out of concrete, and now we're on to the casino. His weakness is Plug Ball, which is unfortunate because that's a ground weapon. It just falls right to the ground. So we want Wily to spawn low just like he did there. He could theoretically spawn up like he is there out of reach over and over and over and over again. But here we go. I said it. Darko was going to have great luck at the casino. All that bad luck paid off. 34-44. I
GG
called
to
that
Darko.
one.
Very solid run. A few mistakes here and there, but this is Darko we're talking about. He's able to recover from his mistakes very quickly and was able to keep it trucking for a very, very solid time. Meanwhile, Charlieboy looks like he failed to do the quick kill for the Twin Devil, but he's still on pace to get a decent 2-cycle. So just one more shot and we should be good to go. Then again,
This is his 3rd cycle, I
yeah,
believe.
I'm about to say. I was looking at the time and was just noticing that the position of the Twin Devil was a little off.
Yeah, it's all right. That happens. We say it's easy devil. It's not actually easy. It takes a lot of timing to get down because you have to be. The way Black Hole Bomb works is you shoot it and then you have to hit B again to detonate it. Then you have to be hitting start right away, and then as soon as you unpause, you have to hit BB again. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, positioning for the Black Hole Bomb is very key. The timing to actually fire it, even the very first shot. Each shot is very important to try to do the quick kill for the Twin Devil. But Charlieboy was still able to get through it. He's still trucking along, about to go to the refights, and misses the final concrete shot. Unfortunately got to use his M-Take a little sooner than he wants, as he now's got to, well, he just moving along.
Oh, yeah. So there we go. Charlieboy went for the jump. Again, that's a tight jump, and if you don't get it, that hurts pretty bad. Because you're missing some of those concretes. We'll see his luck on Galaxy here. Also, he goes straight up. The unfortunate pattern.
Going to Jewel Satellite, going to do Plugman first, doing the usual boss rush routing. So once again, 7 hits, 7 Jewel Satellites, exact damage. Right now, wait a sec. Ooh, Charlieboy probably hit him in the iframes. Going to use the Magma Bazooka to try to finish him off quicker.
Magma Bazooka is the backup weapon of choice in this game. It's really good for, again, because of those triple shots that they stack. It just makes for a good backup. Blade Man weapon in Mega Man 10 is also the same way.
Yep. So we got Charlieboy on Magma. Of course, expecting him to switch to the Magma Bazooka immediately to finish him off, and now we are off to Hornet Man with Magma Bazooka in tow. Probably should be a very quick fight with the damage stacking that we just talked about. Very quick fight.
Yeah, nice job. That was good.
As Charlieboy continues on his boss rush, always got to shout out to Hype Dog on a Darko screen.
Imagine barking. It's a good dog, though. Not like Rush, who's sometimes a bad dog.
Shout outs to his source game, Blaze Blue. Solid Splash Win fight. One more robot match to go. Let's see how Charlieboy handles the Concrete Man refight.
Yep.
Staying on the ground as he should be. Right now we got a very good pattern here. Gets caught a little bit by the concrete shot, but still an overall good pattern.
He got out of that pretty quickly. That didn't. I think plus the good pattern. I think he didn't lose much time there at all. So we'll see how he does on Wily Machine now.
Gotta make sure the eggs are on point. It's surprisingly easy to mess up getting the rhythm down, trying to get those eggs to hit that jawline. The only reason that we using laser tridents because of the wider hitbox. It makes it much easier to hit those eggs. You can use Buster, but Buster can be undependable due to a smaller size.
And you do get those double hits too. If potentially, you could hit it towards the jaw, and then as it's coming back from the jaw, that same hitbox can hit it again and push it back. So you're sort of getting 2 hits for the price of 1.
Okay, so it's casino time. The house always wins, but we still try to wonder if we get good patterns anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, both runners getting decent patterns here. He's getting, you can get up to 6 shots, I believe, when he goes low.
The fight's getting away from Charlieboy. The casino is winning extra hard on Charlieboy's screen.
He is. He did get the M tank though, so
he just used the M tank when he
E-tank, or the E-tank rather. He got the E-tank on Plugman stage. He should use it now though, I believe. I mean, ooh. Did he use the E-tank earlier?
I don't recall actually. If he didn't and was holding on to it, kind of a questionable decision, maybe, kind of, sorta.
Yeah, I would think he was so close to finishing him off that maybe he was just trying to get it done. He thought he could kill him without taking the damage, but I believe he still has that E-tank he picked up from Plugs. So, you know, hopefully that didn't hurt him. Maybe he was on PB pace though. Maybe, you know, the race was already. You know what? I think that's what it was. 41:30, isn't that? I believe.
Nah, I saw him with a 42 son on the leaderboard, but we actually see he doesn't have the E-tank. He actually must have used it earlier. I'm probably gonna assume he probably used it in Wally 3, potentially. Maybe someone in chat can confirm, since we unfortunately missed when he used it. But yeah, this is not a good place to be down on health, since if you do die in this fight, you gotta do all 3 fights over again. It's a very, very big time sink, and another reason why this is a very important capsule fight.
Yeah, and if you game over, it's even worse. You have to do the entire refights again. Not ideal.
Charlieboy taking a bit of a beating right now, but the Wild Machine is being a little friendly, but he wastes the rest of his plug, hoping to get those last hits very quickly, and resorts to using Hornets to try to get good shots in.
He was on PB pace there. His PB was 42:42, so he just missed that now. So that could have been a big PB there. And GG's to Charlieboy.
Yep, finishing with an official SRL time of 33:04. A little rough going, but he still was able to finish the race and get a time that was really close to his PB. So well done to Charlieboy.
Yeah, definitely.
So it looks like we're trying to see if we're going to get a new room ready for race 2. Remember that these races are best of 3, so we're going to continue going until we get until we get our first person to 2 wins.
Yep, 2 penguins. That's what we need.
A little bit of an aside, because I'm curious, why penguins?
Because.
Okay, question answered.
Why not penguins? Let me ask you that.
All right, fair point. Come see, come saw.
So good run games here. I think both runners are just gonna take a quick chance to reset. So yeah. Hopefully we see another competitive race. I would love to see a game 3. You know, anything can happen in the Wily Casino. You know, you never know. As you saw, one death in the casino can cost a lot of time. It could be Darko on the other end of that. We'll never see. Well, we'll never know.
Of course, you want you to follow our runners. Without our runners and our competitors, these races would not be happening. So follow Charlieboy and follow Darko. They're putting time on their schedule to entertain us with some good old Mega Man 9 action.
Oh yeah, I want to thank everybody, including you, for coming in doing commentary for the tournament. Thank you, Speed Gaming, for hosting us, and I really appreciate everybody that came out to watch, everybody that's participating. This has been a really fun tournament, and I'm glad it's happening. Thank you, guys. I'm gonna step away for 1 second while we're for the next matchup to start here. I'm just gonna stretch my legs real quick. Again, I just got home from work and ran down and started the commentary, so I just want to stretch my legs. I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
While SJ is out, just want to shout out to the Mega Man 9 soundtrack. Love me to death. Looks like Darko has officially finished our little endless mode side moment. So yeah, looks like our runners are about to get ready. We got both our guys readying up on SRL. We got the floodgates yet again being released. And race 2 of our best of 3 is starting in a few seconds. So once again, once the timer reaches 0 on SRL and the stream catches up, we're gonna have ourselves yet another race. So, to remind everyone, Darko won the first game. So right now it's 1-0 in Darko's favor. Charlieboy is gonna need to win this one in order to keep the match alive. So we're